Hi everyone, today we're going to be basing our picture on the book Lily and the Moon. We're going to start by painting our night sky. So for this you need some watercolor paints. We're going to be using light blue and a mixture of dark blue to make our night sky. Make sure that your paint is quite watery and make little circles as you cover the whole page in blue. Don't worry about making it too perfect. It doesn't matter if you paint in straight lines across or in little circles. It doesn't matter if you mix up light and dark blue. Just cover the page because we're going to be putting things over it. For the next bit, you're going to need red and green cardboard, some brown paper or some brown tissue paper, a permanent marker and some scissors. We're going to start by making our branch that the ladybird is going to sit on. Draw your branch using a pencil onto your brown paper bag, brown paper or tissue paper. Make sure that you have a mixture of thin twigs and thick branches just to make your tree interesting. That's great. Now we're going to cut our branch out. Put your branch aside for the moment, and now it's time to make the green leaves that we're going to stick onto our tree. I would draw about 8 leaves of different sizes. Draw some fat leaves and some little leaves, some thin leaves. You can make them any way you like, but we need a good 8 to 10 leaves. I'm just drawing the basic leaf shape, but if you want to draw leaves that are a different shape, you're more than welcome to. Once you're happy with your leaves, cut them out. Again, put them to one side, ready for the next step. Now the next step is to draw our lovely ladybird, and we're going to draw a nice oval shape, a fat oval shape, on our piece of red cardboard. You can draw the ladybird quite big, because obviously she is the star of this show. Once you're happy with your ladybird shape, you can cut it out. Right, you should now have your ladybird shape, your leaves and the branch of your tree all ready to stick. You'll need some prick glue for this, and you're going to start by sticking the branch of your tree down onto your blue sky background. Try to make sure that you get glue onto all the edges and ends of the tree so that it sticks down nicely without flapping off the page. You might want to do this on a separate piece of paper so that you don't get glue on your blue background, but that's up to you. Once you've put the glue on the branch, decide where you'd like to position it on your background and very carefully smooth it down so that it sticks nice and thoroughly. The next step is to add leaves to our tree. So add a little bit of glue onto each leaf and position them on the ends of the thin twigs. Any way you like. You can put 2 on some, 3 on some, you decide. And then lastly, you're going to stick your ladybird on. Decide where you'd like to put her. Once you've stuck her on, you're going to take a black permanent marker and divide her in half from the top to the bottom, and then you're going to make a little cross shape right at the top of her head. You want the top line to be a little bit rounded because this is the ladybug's head. Once you've done that and you've colored it in with permanent marker, you can start to add the dots. You probably want about 3 to 5 dots on each side. Nice round circles and colored in nice and carefully. Now for the legs, remember a ladybird is an insect, so it needs 6 legs, 3 on one side and 3 on the other side. Now you'll notice that the 2 front legs are facing forward while the last 2 back legs are facing backwards. Now I like to make my tree look a little bit more natural. So for this I'm using a brown oil pastel, and I'm going to draw lines along the branch of my tree to show the wood grains. You don't have to do this, but if you'd like to, it does make the wood look a little bit more natural. Another way of doing this is to crumple up the paper and then stick it down. You may want to even do these lines before you stick on your ladybird and your leaves, but it doesn't really matter which way around you do it. If you'd like to use more than one tone of brown, that's also quite nice. To add interest to my picture so that it's not just pieces of cardboard stuck down on a page, I'm adding a little bit of oil pastel detail to my leaves. Using a dark green pastel, I'm making the veins of the leaves, but I'm also going to draw in some more leaves using just oil pastel in different shades of green. So I'm choosing a dark green shade to do this, and I'm literally just drawing the leaves and coloring them in and mixing them up with the ones that are already stuck down. I'm going to combine this with another shade of green just for added interest. Again, you don't have to do this, but it does make it a little bit more interesting, and as it's a mixed media project, this does add to the interest. Now let's not forget about the moon, because this is also a big part of the story. Somewhere at the top of your page, using a grey pastel, make a nice round circle. Colour it in solidly, because it's a nice full moon, isn't it? Then you want to put some craters on the moon. So with a black oil pastel, very finely add a few little craters. You want to smudge this in with a white oil pastel, just gently, just so that you get some light parts and some dark parts, which makes the moon look more three-dimensional. Last thing we need are some eyes, and you can do this in a few ways. I'm making some eyes using Tipp-Ex or correction pen, and then putting a black dot in the middle, but you can use white stickers or goggly eyes. That's up to you. And there we have our beautiful ladybug looking at the moon. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Keep being creative.